Pro gamer builds epic tiny house with crazy computer setup.
The things that's so great about tiny houses is the way that they can enable people to do things in life that they love. Here in Germany, we're about to meet a YouTube gamer who has built a beautiful DIY tiny house with an incredible gaming setup to help facilitate her passion.
Wow, so epic. Wow. Royalty-free music, guys.
So how's it going?
Good, nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. And
Who is this?
Wonderful to see
YouTube
your
gamer, by the way.
home.
YouTube gamer.
Thank you.
Who is this?
Now, this was actually built as a DIY project, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Except for the heating, but apart from that, it's all DIY. It took,
Who is
I
this?
think, So I think one of the major concerns was the weight, because in Germany you can only put on so much weight on a trailer. I think it's 3.5 tons.
I didn't know there was
people.
rules to how
So
big your trailer
we
could be.
were
You could,
pretty
I thought you could
limited
put a
in
whole mansion on your trailer.
terms of like siding and everything, but we found a way to make it all wooden but still pretty small so that it's fit in within these 3.5 tons. And I wanted something
3.5
that
tons.
looked friendly but not too colorful, because I'm all about pastel tones and minimalist, so obviously I try to choose not too many colors, but I'm happy with it. It looks pretty friendly.
Well, you've done such a great job with the exterior of the home.
You've done such a great job with the exterior of the home.
I can't wait to see what you've done inside. Can we take a look?
Yeah, sure, come inside.
Thank you.
Come inside. I lost. Double monitor.
This is great.
What the fuck is this setup? Let's rate this setup. Does any streamer have their monitor like that? Like that? Does anybody have that? I don't think that's normal. But I mean, she's making the best out of it with her space. Is this like the monitor stand? You gotta look like up. I wouldn't like it if my monitor was like up here. If I had to look at chat and every time I had to do this, I don't like that. I just want to be like this and then that's chat, but not like, that's too much movement. Too much movement. I'll review setups sometime. Neox CS setup is not like this. He has like his monitor like this next to it. What is that
In a
mic?
small space,
That looks
you could
pretty
feel,
shit.
Quite confined, but if you make it light and open and pretty much white, quite confined.
What is that
but
desk? The desk kind of looks good. No cap. I don't like the gap between the wall and the desk. Why would you have such a big gap here?
If you make it light and open and pretty much white,
Wait.
you could feel quite.
She doesn't even have a stream deck. Wow. Maybe she's not a streamer though. She says she's a YouTuber, so.
Quite confined, but if you make it light and open and pretty much white, then it's gonna work a lot better.
Yeah. I think of all of the tiny houses that I visited in Europe so far, this one definitely feels the biggest.
Yeah, I'm glad you say that, because that was actually like my purpose, because most of the tiny homes in Germany are quite small, and especially with what I did with the downstairs bed.
She said most of the tiny houses are small. But that's the point of a tiny house.
So that takes up a lot of space, but I still kind of managed to make it not feel as confined.
Right?
And let us talk about this gaming workstation. This is really serious, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually pretty big for a tiny home, I would say. But
Really
because
serious.
I'm doing gaming,
60 hertz, double monitor, trash ass second monitor, which doesn't matter. But okay.
on YouTube and video
Serious
editing, I
gaming.
need to have a space that actually works for me as a home office. So it takes up a lot of space,
Okay, that is-
but it's definitely
that's pretty
worth
good.
it. And it's on wheels, so I can just move it around if I have guests over, and it's not in everybody's way.
Wow. And for your live streaming, you've even got a green screen and everything that you set up, don't you?
Yeah, it's stored in here,
she
and
does
I can
stream.
just set it up here. Super simple system, and then all this turns into a full studio, so that's pretty cool.
That is really amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. It's something that has accompanied me for a couple of years now, and I'm glad that
I
I
need
was
a green
able
screen.
to continue
Maybe.
doing this in my home.
I kind of
It's
like
quite
the
funny
kitchen though.
because I feel like I've traveled halfway around the world to be here, and yet there's a definite taste of home. I'm seeing all of this Lord of the Rings paraphernalia everywhere. This is really cool.
Yeah, I'm sort of a geek, and I have been for quite a few years. So I knew that when I was building, I knew that I had to implement some of these things into my
That's
home.
a cool table.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Especially with the table there. That's such a nice touch.
Yeah, I love this one. When
I would sit at that table, I have my laptop on there, maybe a drink, and I just yeet that fucking pillar.
I was building, I knew that I had to implement some of these things into my home.
That does not look stable. I'd sit at that table and I yeet that thing with my feet to the sides.
Absolutely. Very cool. Especially with the table there.
And everything goes on the floor.
That's such a nice touch.
Yeah, I love this one. When I sit there and have breakfast, I always like trace the journey of the Fellowship and just see these small little places on Middle Earth that I haven't seen
That is
before.
so
So the
unstable.
map's pretty cool, yeah.
Very cool.
She
And
does
then-
not wake up every morning, drink tea, and look at that map and be like, where are they going now?
And over here, we've got your bed.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, some people say it's pretty big. And I wanted to have a space that looks super comfortable and also have some storage. So that's why I implemented these shelves.
Camera,
Some
that's
little
kind of
plants and my filming gear, all easy to access. And
Wait, what lens is that?
some little plants and my filming gear.
So wide angle, 18-200. It's a 50mm prime. Oh,
All
and
easy
zoom
to
lenses.
access.
Nice, pretty
and
decent.
Some more Lord of the Rings stuff.
Of course.
I had to have some space for that as well.
Is
Nice.
it weird
And
that
then
I've
have you
never
brought some
seen
storage
Lord of
here
the
as well?
Rings?
Yeah, it's actually full of storage. When you fold it up, you can access these drawers that I built, and they have even more storage than I actually
That is pretty
need,
cool.
So I'm glad
I
to
like
have some
that.
extra just in case.
And I see that you've actually got a loft up here in this design as well. So why did you
Yeah.
decide to put the bed downstairs and not up in the loft?
Yeah, I think when I first heard of tiny houses, I was that was actually one thing that I was
That is so
concerned
cool.
about the most, because I didn't want to sleep in the place that gets the warmest during the summer, because that's
Right.
just not working for me. So I decided to put the bed here and then have the loft for everything that I just needed space for. So right now it's working as like a film studio or a video studio where I film my videos and also just sit up there, have a cup of coffee or tea and just look outside. Because it's a really bright room, like I have windows on 3 sides, and yeah, it just is a nice place to relax.
That totally makes sense. And then moving over here, I see you've built in some storage, and this is such a retro idea.
Yeah, this is actually from the US Army. I found this in a recycling shop, and it was in a pretty bad state when I got it, and I decided to make this a project and turn it into a wardrobe. It took a lot of work,
That's
but
pretty cool.
eventually it worked out, and I'm super glad to have it.
Looks
Yeah,
like
very
you're back in
nice.
high school.
And then we're in your kitchen, and you have got a lot of workspace in here, don't you?
Yeah, that was one of my priorities, because I hated when I was studying and I was in a really
Wait,
small
you're
flat. I
right.
hated.
Anju, let me check. Is she in the description? Oh. Okay, this is her YouTube channel. Damn.
Hi, ich bin Ness.
Kind of small YouTuber, but still a cool house.
To work in this kitchen because it was just too small, so I decided to go all crazy and just put the most possible space in this place.
Pro gamer, yeah, 43K. I
And
don't know if that's
I'm
pro.
gonna say that I didn't regret it at all.
Yeah. So obviously you do enjoy cooking a lot.
Yeah, I gotta say I do. That's why I have the huge fridge and a freezing compartment, because I like doing it, but only if I have enough space. And yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got a good size
Yeah.
oven and 4 burners as well. That's a little bit of a luxury for a tiny house.
Yeah, it certainly is. I decided to go with these because I just love cooking with gas, and I think it does make a difference in terms of taste, but it also made sense because I had the gas heating, so
I hope
could
she didn't
use
waste
the
that
same
just for the
system, so
video.
that was pretty good.
Very cool. And of course, another Lord of the Rings reference on the backsplash.
She made
there.
all that
Yeah,
food
I
just
can
to
resist
store it.
that one.
Nice. So you've got gas here for the cooking.
She
Can you
eat
talk
it
to me a little
big.
bit about the services in this house? So water,
She
power,
doesn't look
all
like
of that
she
sort of
eats-
thing.
Yeah, I
A
have
lot,
power
though.
from the exterior, so there's a cable running into my
She looks
home,
skinny is what
from
I'm
my
trying
dad's
to say.
workshop. So that's gonna stay that way for a little while. I plan to have a solar setup once I'm on the property that I actually want to move on to.
I want to see the
And
bathroom.
everything else
Where's the
is
shitting happen?
Gas
Where-
and
'cause
water.
girls
so
don't shit,
materials.
right?
Yeah. The composting toilet, this looks like a really interesting design. And
Yeah.
the way that you've wrapped it with all of the paper looks so good.
Composting toilet?
Yeah, it was actually those are.
Don't tell me you...
You've wrapped it with all of the...
That is disgusting! You shit in it, and then you scoop sand into the toilet? No.
paper looks so good.
Yeah, it was actually
No.
those are pages of a book from my Latin studies. So I decided to.
Please don't tell me
incorporate
that's
some
how
of
it
my
works.
Previous life into this home. Yeah, it's
Open
just
it
in
up.
use for I think
Open it
a
up.
week now, but I'm happy with it. I'm glad that I did it. So.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
And then what you've done here with the vanity and basin looks really good.
That's a vintage mirror from I think the 80s or 70s even. I got this from like Etsy, and this is actually from
You
Household
shit in there.
Clearing. Someone wanted to throw that away.
Oh,
and I
no,
thought,
no.
You can't do that. It's too beautiful. And I kept it with me for I think 8 years.
That is cool. I like
in
that
my
a
previous
lot.
flats, and then I decided I had to incorporate.
That
this
looks
one
like some shit
into
people
my
have
home.
in
And yeah, I'm glad that I found a spot for
restaurants.
it.
And so how long have you been living in the home now?
It's only been 2 weeks full-time living. I actually worked in this place for I think
Samska,
a
what
year
did you
now,
link?
but I didn't have water hookup, so I decided to stay in my previous room. But I then moved in like 2 weeks ago, and I'm super happy I did it.
So you're finding that the tiny house is actually living up to your expectation then?
More than that, actually. I'm surprised at how easy it is to adjust to
Some
this
Twitter
place,
drama?
which is,
Let's
like,
let's take a
quite
look.
a few sizes smaller than what I usually lived in, but super happy with it.
Yeah. And can we talk a little bit about the cost that was involved in building this home?
So all in all, including the
I don't give a
appliances in
fuck
the
about
kitchen and the heating system, which was quite expensive, was 35,000 euros. So a pretty good budget, I would say, for a project like this one.
And what is the heating system that you've installed? Because obviously here in Europe, it's so important to have a warm home.
Yeah, I think that's why it was so expensive. So we have propane gas with bottles, and it switches from one bottle to the other, so I can switch them out when I need. And that to it in a few steps and build.
Self promo, okay.
Job with this
guys.
home. It's so cool to see some really unique features in here, like this great gaming setup. Thank you so much for sharing
What
it.
does he know about great gaming setups? This guy don't know nothing about great gaming. He don't know nothing, man. All right, that was a good video.